3 mate, arms out, see what we can do. Got the front of the car, fire just forced me off. Sorry! Ah! That only works with me, it's not the rest. That's the fast team car through, fast team car through. Thanks guys, good job. Awesome. Got me okay, nice. Got broken steering, these idiots. We're out, Brody took me out, I'll try and get out. Yeah, let him try and catch around here. Oh, what's happening here? Hey, why am I getting run off the track? Thanks guys, good job.
Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your Friday evening here for the Skypoynt Dirt Oval Series. Joining myself in the broadcast booth here tonight is Tom Pritchard and Peter Gredden. How are you guys going?
Yeah, very good, thanks Ryan. As we both jump in at the same time, that's a good start, isn't it, old Pete? Yeah, I am very well, thank you very much. It's Friday, it's going to be... Well, it's cold outside down here in Sydney, so we're off to nice and warm Eldora, which I'm sure Eldora, being in the US of A, is a much warmer place than what it is in Sydney. So happy to be out here racing around. Well, I'm not racing around the ovals, but watching these boys turn some laps around the ovals. How about you, Pete? How was your week?
Yeah, that's awesome, Pete. We'll just head over to our information here tonight. We are here at Eldora, as you've just heard before. Track information here. We are at Eldora here tonight. 700 meter track here in the US. So, very awesome track here. But yeah. Yep, championship leader at the moment is Craig Roffey. The Roff family has shown throughout the championship so far that they are definitely quick and falling behind. Very close, 3 points behind Craig Roffey's Andy Barber there, Tony Roffey and Adam Malone, and then we head across to Shane Roffey. So the top 5 at the moment for the championship is filled with Roffeys. 3 Roffeys out of 5 drivers up the top there, and Kim Roffey just sneaking in P6 there. But we do have the cars on track at the moment. We are here in our practice session. But Pete, you did mention before that tonight we will only have one heat here tonight, and then we will have our awesome feature. We're 4 minutes to go until we do head into our qualifying session. We do have Tom Pritchard in the pit lane at the moment, waiting very patiently for him to bring his 000 Skypoynt Southern Stars car out. So take it away, Tom. Let's take the viewers for a lap of Eldora.
Yeah, enough of your chat. Let's jump into an actual lap over here. So we're here, of course. Oh, here we go. Oh dear. Okay, we're straight into cars. All right, sorry about that. Sorry about that, everyone. But we'll just try and safely back our way out of this problem here. Oh, here we go.
So no
Excuse me.
difference. So not a different start than we've done through the other actual laps, Tom.
It's an actual lap, and actual laps happen in many different ways. But yes, you're mentioning it as a short circuit. This track is going to be very interesting tonight. A lot more kind of, being a shorter track, there's a lot more technicality to play out. So, it's all about trying to get around these corners, because you're essentially going around corners the entire time. So it's going to be really fascinating to watch and see how these guys cope with it. I was pumping some laps before, and I can tell you, you're basically turning the entire time. There's not really any straight going, in these supercars. So very, very interesting. You can find a nice little rhythm. As you can see, I'm straight away. I'm a terrible off-road rider, but I'm already picking up a bit of a rhythm. There seems to be a couple of grooves picking up. It'll be interesting to see how the track evolves throughout the actual races, because one thing that is going to be certain is that with more cars, with a shorter track and lots of cars running over the track, it's going to mean that the track's going to wear a groove pretty quickly, especially in this kind of mid to top line. So will be very interesting. I think these boys are locking down some pretty fast time. Trust me. I'm trying to find a car I can kind of get up to some mischief with, maybe take out, but don't seem to be finding many at the moment. Here we go. Some poor soul is coming up behind me now. Oh, here we go.
And Shannon Blackburn, mate, he's behind you. Currently done a 19.16, but
is that all?
Well, if you can't beat him on track, Tom, you most well put him into a wall. There's about 6 or 7 cars. You've wiped out the whole field, Tom. That's an actual lap.
Well, yeah, definitely, Tom. You've gone out for an actual lap. We just see all the cars piling in. Don't know what corner you're in there, but you've definitely kept to the tradition of causing some actual chaos. We did see quite a few
causing some actual crap, I think it was, but that was hope that was entertaining for everyone, and we're looking forward to seeing these boys do some actual racing on track in a few moments.
Yeah, that's Tom. He just headed out for our actual lap, and
gotta find the pit lane entry. Where is it?
And as always, he's done an actual lap, and then he's ended his actual lap. But in the crash that you did see on screen, that Andy Barber was in there and a couple of the Roffies. But we're a minute to go until we head into the qualifying session. Pete, Kim Roffey, Craig Roffey up the top there. They've set the quickest two lap times of an 18.26 and an 18.30. So very quick and very tight times that we see on screen. We're looking at Kim Roffey, if I'm correct here, on screen, middle split racing, Holden Supercar. But we're heading into our qualifying session very soon. What do you expect, Pete, to be happening? Do you expect more clean laps, just trying to get a time down, or do you think they will be trying to just set back a bit and see if they can move their way through the field?
Well, the middle split racing crew of Kim, Craig, Tony, and Shane, well, they've been the sort of the team to beat, haven't they, throughout this season? And I don't think it's going to be much different tonight, although I've been watching them throughout the practice session. We've been going now for almost 40 minutes, and as it'll come to check it very soon, and we'll move into qualifying. But that's the team to beat. Southern Stars and Adam Malone as well. Don't forget, Adam Malone, he's been really quick from the Southern Stars East. The Southern Stars crew. Yeah, that's him. I'll get it right one day. But he's been relatively quick as well. But I'd like to see your old man Andy get up there and see what he can do tonight. He's been really I think unlucky throughout this season. But the results, I think, it's just a race or two away as we now into qualifying.
Yeah, that's right. Andy Barber in the 02 Southern Stars car, heading out on track. At the moment, we will see him on screen in just a second. He was fighting for the championship last season, as we did broadcast the last round. So if you do want to look at that race after this, do check it out on the LRE Sports Network. But at the moment, we have Andy Barber on screen, Southern Stars, Holden Commodore. This is a retro livery that he was running when he first started iRacing, so that's pretty cool. He set his first lap time and the quickest lap time of the session of an 18.49, and he is finishing the lap at the moment, just getting really close to the pit entry there. He sets his second time, but does fail. Actually, no, he does go quicker, so that's an 18.30, so he did go quite a bit quicker. But also on screen here, Wade Shooty. Wade definitely does show that he does have the pace in a supercar on tarmac and on the oval, sitting there in 5th position. But then we go across to Sebastian Varndell, very quick kid. He is only 15 years old, Pete. You know that definitely, and he's after the broadcast on the podium, and he can shout out those sponsors. But yeah, it's a very busy qualifying session here, Pete. Andy Barber and Craig Roffey at the top there. It's always been a bit of a fight there at the moment, but Raymond Yeager, he was not in the practice session that I saw before, Pete. Pinnacle Esports holding Commodore there, so that's a very pleasant surprise. So how do you think he's going to go in for this heat that we will be heading into in a minute? He hasn't done any practice laps, but he's definitely gone back on track right now.
Well, we know the Pinnacle Esports boys, they're quick when they've got asphalt underneath them. Is it going to be any difference tonight? They've got a lot of quick guys around them that they're really experienced around dirt. Remember, Blackburn, he's experienced around dirt, and we know that all the Roffies, they are as well. Darren McKenzie, he's a quite experienced campaigner on dirt and having fun. Yeah, but it's going to be pretty cool. Adam Malone, Craig Roffey, Andy Barber, I think they're my picks for tonight. I know I never pick one driver, Ryan, but you know, you got to hedge your bets, mate.
Yeah, well, you definitely have the option to choose a last name, because there is 4 Roffies, if I'm correct, with Kim, Shane, Tony, and Craig. So we're heading into our heat number 1 here tonight. 6 drivers are in the field here, discounting Tom Pritchard that you see in there, as we will head into our starting grid in just a second. So Andy Barber sticks it on pole for heat number 1. Looks like we are having 2 heats here. Adam Malone, Southern Stars Esports right next to him. Darren McKenzie, Southern Stars again in 3rd position. Then we head to Shane Roffey and Raymond Yeager for 4th and 5th. And ending your grid here tonight is Shannon Blackburn with the Aussie Boys Racing entry. So our first heat of the night, very exciting. Of course, we do not have any cautions here. So if there is an accident, we did see last round there was a bit of barging around. There was no safety cars, but it looks like actually 5 drivers are in the car at the moment. That's a bit interesting, but they're lined up behind the safety car or pace truck here for heat number 1. Going into this, what do you think is going to happen, Pete? Do you think they're going to crash into each other, or do they think they will be nice and just try and get into the A-main?
Well, it's all about making it into the A-main, isn't it? So you've got to be a little bit, you know, you've got to be quick. You've got to get the position to make it into the main, but then you've got to preserve a little bit. But I think with this crew that we got out here for heat number 1, that they're going to keep it nice and clean and sort of modulate the risk, I think, if that's the right word.
Yeah, that's right, Pete. We did have Tom just pop back into the broadcast booth here. So, Tom, what are you looking out for as a race control perspective for Heat 1? Of course, there isn't any safety cars, as I just mentioned before, but what do you expect going into this?
Well, I expect it to be, pretty tricky for those guys that only turned up late in the event. So people like Raymond Yeager, Sebastian Varndell, although he's in the next heat, I'm sure that's going to be a bit of a challenge. But yeah, it should be interesting. We'll see, I suppose, who can come out on top. We've got some guys at the front here that are pretty fast. Andy Barber, namely, and Adam Malone. Also can't go past the Roffies sitting back there as well. So should be an interesting race. We'll definitely be watching with interest.
Yeah, that's right. We can't forget that Raymond Yeager's in the pack too. A bit of a silent assassin. Anyone here has a chance of taking out the win, but Raymond Yeager definitely shows that he's there or thereabouts. They're behind the pace truck here, Barney, up there getting ready to wave the green flag, but the lights are out in the safety car, and we are going green this lap for 10 awesome laps. So I'm extremely excited. I've been looking forward to this for a whole fortnight pretty much since we ended the last broadcast. But Andy Barber does look like he's very eager, kicking the car sideways there. But Pete, this is a very awesome track, Eldora. Everyone loves it. Everyone likes racing in the sprint cars, but we don't see Supercar Dirt on here yet, so that's going to be very interesting. But the pace car does pull into the pit lane. Andy Barber starting on pole next to his teammate Adam Malone. So we are green. They get the power of these racing slicks, Dunlop tyres, and it looks like, oh, there's a Roffy that's gotten into at the back of Adam Malone there. Don't know what happened there, but it doesn't look like they're too disadvantaged people.
Yeah, it's a pretty good start from most of it. A little bit, a couple of cars just went around, but it looks like Andy Barber's leading the way. Darren McKenzie's there as well. But Andy Barber, look at that line that he's taken. Is a little bit lower than the rest of them, kicking the rear of the car out. Darren McKenzie keeping up with him, and then as you just mentioned earlier, but it looks like Adam Malone is he's recovering nicely. But here we go. You called him the silent assassin, Raymond Yeager. He was coming up on the back of him now, but Shane Roffey gets that position done. But Andy Barber back out in front. He is leading the way. Darren McKenzie in second.
Yeah, that's right. Andy Barber does have a 7/10 lead, 6/10 lead, whatever you want to call it here. They're definitely going further and closer to each other as they've going through the corners sideways. The Supercar Dunlop slicks are underneath them. Andy Barber getting very close to the wall. If you didn't know, Andy Barber does race with one hand on his wheel and one hand on the shifter, so he's definitely a busy man at the moment. But Darren McKenzie's on the move, the championship winner for the last season, on the back of Andy Barber. No team orders here. Darren McKenzie's in the Southern Stars car, and so is Andy Barber, so no team orders here, and they'll be fighting for the lead here. But if we go back towards the back of the field with Raymond Yeager, he is fighting back with Shannon Blackburn, trying to... Actually, no, he's gotten away from Shannon Blackburn. He's chasing after the Rocky, but Shannon Blackburn there just sitting at the back. The cameras are moving a bit because I'm talking a bit too quickly, but Raymond Yeager and Rocky, not too sure what Rocky that is. I think it's Shane.
Yeah, that's Shane Roffey up there in fourth position. There's a good little battle. There's battles going along everywhere, I think, Brian. This is the battle for fourth and fifth. Shane Roffey and Raymond Yeager. Back up the front, though, Andy Barman, Darren McKenzie, Southern Stars Esports. And I just picked up there that, Ryan, that they're getting really close to that wall in the exit, as we just seen a good picture there, and I think that's the way to do it. Have a look at this, and the number one, Darren McKenzie's boarding. He's going for a little bit more of a slider line, but Andy Barber, he's counteracting that, and he's holding this. He's led every lap, put it on pole for this heat, and he's led every lap, but pretty good. Now, lap trapping, I think now Shannon Blackburn is coming into play. Let's see what they can do. Darren McKenzie down the inside. Will he get it done?
Yeah, we're going to our final lap. White flag. They get into each other, and Andy Barber goes around. Definitely not going to be happy about that, but Darren McKenzie takes the lead at the moment, and he'll take the checkered flag at the moment if Adam Malone doesn't get to him in time, but there is a 6-second lead. That won't happen. Darren McKenzie will take the checkered flag for heat number 1.
Darren that's not going to...
Yeah, getting together with his teammate, Andy Barber's just sitting there in last position, but he should progress over to our second heat that we'll be going to in just a moment. But Darren McKenzie, wow, that's crazy.
That's not going to be a nice team. That's not going to be a nice team meeting after the race as we go back to a Skypoynt replay. No, so the session's finished. So we'll get the grid up for the second heat, Ryan, and we'll get back underway. But not a happy team meeting. I wouldn't want to sit into them.
Yeah, that's right, Pete. But Craig Roffey takes out the pole position for heat number 2 with Tony Roffey and Craig Roffey in second and third position. Pete, very Roffey filled heat here, just like the Southern Stars heat last time. Simon Ferris in fourth position with Wade Sheedy in fifth position. Sebastian Vandel from Brassix Sim Racing, he finishes out the starting grid in the number 4 Ford Mustang. But Pete, they're heading out for their second heat at the moment behind the pace truck. We will go green next lap, but we saw some action in the last heat, especially with Darren McKenzie and Andy Barber getting in together. They are up at the bar at the moment, so I bet they'll be having a laugh. But we will be heading green flag in just a moment. I bet you, Pete, will be hoping that they don't get into each other as much as last time, because there is no cautions.
No cautions in the heat races, but there will be in the feature race. That'll be coming up, or the main, I should say, in dirt oval terms. But 3 middle, is it middle finger racing or middle split racing? One of the two anyway. And you got Simon Ferris there as well, and you got Sheedy and Vandell down the back. Who's going to be able to get out on top? That was a pretty clean race, to be honest, Ryan, in my sort of opinion. A little bit dirty at the end, but we go live now. We go green flag. Craig Roffey will take it. Tony Roffey, Sebastian Vandell, good start for him. Simon Ferris is in there as well. But up the front, they're taking away Craig Roffey. And have a look at these 3 middle split drivers. Oh, a little bit of contact.
Yep, they've gone 3 wide at the start there, and now they're just splitting away a little bit. Craig Roffey does have the lead over Tony Roffey at the moment. It's a middle split 1 and 2, but Sebastian Vandell, we are looking on screen at the moment. He does tap the wall, but of course we do have damage healing on. He gets contact with the back of Kim Roffey there. Getting a bit messy, but Wade Sheedy gets around and they are banging doors. Of course, we are on dirt, and we do have race control Tom Pritchard here, but 8 laps to go. At the moment, it's Roffey, and Sheedy who are top 3, so a very Roffey field race at the moment with first, second, and last position for the Roffies. But Tom, we did cut you off before, but you know, race control, you're doing an awesome job. How are you feeling about the race at the moment?
Well, what I was just noticing, especially in that first split, just how close they travel to the wall, both on the inside and the outside. It's very interesting. It's going to be interesting in this longer feature race and see how that line progresses across the race. Because it seems like it's definitely the fast line. You go right down, right against the wall on the inside, and you drift right out to the outside wall. Yeah, it's very interesting watching that. So it'll be interesting to watch that play out as we go into the longer feature race. We've got more cars driving over it more times. So, but yeah, this is looking like towards we get to the back half of this second heat. Looks like it's going to be a total rocky off, but looks like Wade Sheedy is holding on there for 3rd place at the moment. Hopefully he can bring it home strong. But Vandell, of course, he is as well a young charger, and he's coming up as hard as he can, no doubt. If he's got any sniff of an opportunity to get down the inside or outside or even through the middle of Wade Sheedy, he'll be there for sure.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Craig Roffey at the moment has the lead of the race over Kim Roffey, but of course they are middle split racing. They wouldn't have team orders as well, just like everybody else, but they'll be racing as hard as they can. But Tom, what I've also noticed at the moment is Wade Sheedy's been holding off Sebastian Vandell really well. He's an extremely quick and young fella here, but you can see the gap here on screen with Wade Sheedy. He does have a bit of a gap back to Sebastian Vandell in the RR6 Ford Mustang, but looking at Wade Sheedy at the moment, he is sticking to the road really well. He's been holding off Sebastian, like I just said before. What I did notice,
white lap.
What I did notice here at the moment is Wade Sheedy has sped up quite a lot, and he has gained a lot more traction as the tyres heat up, so that's how he can hold off Wade Sheedy. But as we are heading to the finish line, Craig Roffey takes out heat number 2. Oh no, the side by side. No, let's check a flag. You can see there, but Craig Roffey gets the W here for heat number 2 over Tony Roffey. Bit of an interesting race. We didn't see as much barging around as we did in the last heat, Tom and Pete, but we are in the 5-minute warm-up. They will be, getting up, going to the toilet, getting a drink, just preparing for a very stressful race here for the A-main coming up.
let's hope it's not a stressful race. Let's hope it's a stress-less race as we'll get back to the Heat 1 results as the guys are in the warm-up. That race, the second heat was awesome. The first heat was good as well. I think it's middle split racing. Sorry to the Roffies. I entered them in at the last minute. I swear it said middle finger racing. But anyway, Craig Roffey. And that's the championship standings. We don't want them. Let's get rid of them, Pete. Let's get on to the results. That's what I said we'll go having a look at. The championship, the results from Heat 1. Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone, Raymond Yeager 1, 2 and 3. It was a bit unfortunate for Andy Barber there too, Ryan, to come home in 6th. He led every lap except for the last one.
Yeah, that's correct, but you know, you do have the heat standings, well, not standings, the results, but it looks like everyone's on track at the moment, giving a bit of bumper card, just saying, hey, don't mess with me in the next heat, but it's a lovely bunch of people. We got Kobe Jordan, Sebastian Vindel, and all that in the bar, so they'll be having an absolute blast. But Heat 2 results here, Craig Roffey and Tony Roffey took out the first and second position, with Wade Sheedy and Sebastian Vindel taking out the third and fourth. Simon Ferris in fifth, and Kim Roffey ending the grid 13 seconds away from the lead, so very tight racing at the moment. They are on the warm-up at the moment. Wade Sheedy has set the quickest time so far with Raymond Yeager, the silent assassin that I've been calling him here tonight. He's been extremely quick, and if I'm correct, he'll be starting on the inside, well, the third row on the inside, if I'm thinking of how the A-main will go correctly. But Adam Malone out on track at the moment. He is in the Ned Kelly themed Southern Stars vehicle here. Has set the quickest time, with Andy Barber also setting the quickest for getting knocked off by Tony, Shane, Craig, Roffey and Raymond Yeager. So we see times bouncing around for the warm-up. I was expecting not so much action on track at the moment, but Adam Malone sticking some extremely quick lap times. Pete, how do you think he's going to head into this next one? He's definitely a quick driver, and he's proven that throughout the season.
Well, we've seen a lot of Malone's racing, be it on dirt or be it on asphalt ovals, and even in the supercar races on the off week that we are now in the DSLE series. He's a driver coming up the ranks, I think, to be, you know, and to give him all the credit. He's getting better and better. He's progressing up the ranks. I'm not too sure if he's got a win in this series yet, Ryan, but he's very close to it. Him and Andy Barber are just, you know, they're so close to getting it. But we're just about ready for this awesome feature as Tom's going through his racing briefing.
Yeah, he's heading and letting everyone know about the driver's briefing. If you are curious what does happen in the driver's briefing, he's basically just going to tell them to just be a bit careful with how they're driving, just reminding them that cautions are on here that, of course, are brought out by Tom at times necessary. For example, when a car spins or a car crashes, or if there's a pile-up and safety cars needed to intervene, just get everyone back together and calm everything down. So we are heading into our starting grid very shortly, but the driver's briefing will basically be explaining everything they'll need to know. But you know what we need to know? The starting grid. So Simon Ferris puts it on pole here, and Shannon Blackburn and the front row. Sebastian Vindel in third position, with Shane Roffey on the outside of him in fourth position. Wade Sheedy and Raymond Yeager take up your third row, with Tony Roffey and the assassin, well, not the assassin, Adam Malone. We did speak about him during the warm-up. Craig Roffey and Darren McKenzie take out your fifth row, with Andy Barber and Kim Roffey taking out your 11th and 12th, if I, and of course Tom Pritchard. He's not in the race, he's in race control here. Very awesome job, but he'll be keeping an eye on all of these knuckleheads. But they are behind the safety car at the moment, getting ready to grid up, already bumping the wall, just testing out the car's healing. Damage healing is of course on as always. They're behind the safety car. Should be going green this lap. We don't see the lights on the safety car, so they're out at the moment, so they'll be getting ready to go. But Pete. Very exciting. You don't really commentate dirt. You're an absolute amazing commentator, and you're primarily on road. So this is a different kind of deal for you. So what are you expecting coming into this?
Well, firstly, thanks for the kind words, mate. But yeah, commentary on dirt, it's a new thing for me. But you're leading the way just nicely. These guys have already had their chance to show what they've got on separate heats. Here we go. The green flag waves here at Eldora. Round 3, heat number. The feature, I should say. Big carnage.
Yeah, we already go safety car as we see the lap number there just turned from green to yellow. We have a car there stranded. We are heading over to the Skypoynt replay after that big one. Let's see what happened here. We got the grid start there. They are off at the moment. Let's have a look, see what happened.
They're getting that close to the wall there, weren't they? I think Tom mentioned that before we went green here for the feature and the warm-up, that they're getting really close to the walls, and, well, that's a little bit too close for comfort. I think Wade Sheedy just kissed the wall on the inside. We got damage healing, though, Ryan. These guys will get underway in just a minute, but under yellow, Tom's busy as always for the first lap of the feature.
Yeah, that's right. Looks like Wade Sheedy just got into the back of, I'm not sure who that is. It might have been Shannon Blackburn, if I'm correct. Shannon Blackburn is in second position. That's in the blue kind of coloured car. We do have a look at the replay again, if I'm pretty sure. Oh, yep. All right, we're on the restart. He got into the side of the 35. That is, if I'm correct. No, that's 85. So Tony Roffey had just gotten to the side of Tony Roffey that did pretty much caused the whole thing, but you know, it's the start of the race. Everyone's trying to head into the first corner there. First, everyone's trying to, you know, get the lead, but we go green again. Sebastian Vindel in the lead at the moment over Shannon Blackburn in second position. He's holding a 8th lead at the moment. Very awesome to see. Shannon Blackburn behind, and Shane and Craig Roffey overtaking Raymond Yeager, who is now in 5th position. But a very eventful race that we've started with here. We've already had a caution, and now we're back green very quickly. Race control gets onto that really quick, but Sebastian Vindel still holds his lead at the moment. Middle split racing at the moment. Car goes around. It looks like we're going to go caution for the second time tonight already. We're just waiting for that. No. Okay, it doesn't look like we're going caution, but at the moment, Sebastian Vindel setting the quickest time at the moment. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, so I'll just get a calm it back, Pete. But Sebastian Vindel still out in the lead with Craig Roffey and Darren McKenzie in second and third position. We'll head into a Skypoint replay very shortly once Pete has that up and running for us to have a look at. But here we go. Darren McKenzie and Shane Roffey get together there. Shane Roffey does end up in the barrier there. Standing car. Looks like the contact caused him to be nose into the barrier. But Tom quickly brought out the safety car as it was needed. Doing his job absolutely perfectly. Tom Pritchard, big shout out to him, doing an amazing job. But we are under the safety car for the second time here tonight. Lap 8 out of 50. Sebastian Vindel out in the lead at the moment. But the hot move is here tonight. Craig Roffey's up 7 positions from the starting grid. He is in second, and it looks like he started out in 9th position. Dan McKenzie and Kim Roffey are all up 7 positions. So looks like that's the highest the highest positions gained from when they started. Andy Barber also, keep an eye out on him. He is 3 positions up from where he started in 11th position. The Retro Southern Stars car there, just behind Raymond Yeager. He's definitely been hungry for a championship. Can he get in front and take the championship lead here tonight? We will find out. But the lights are out in the safety car. Sebastian Vindel just having a bit of a fun play with the safety car. He always loves to do that, but lucky he's not in the safety car or the engine won't be running. But Pete, we're still under safety car. Looks like we're going to be going in just a moment. Do you think they're going to finally calm down, or do you think they're still going to put the foot down and...
This is Supercars on dirt, mate. They don't calm down. They're going to go for it. And Sebastian Vandel, he's going for it. He left no time waiting. He got the jump, and we're green again here for the Skypoynt Dirt Oval. Round number 3 at Eldora. It is throwing it up, and I'll tell you what, these guys at the back are probably having a better battle than the guys in the front as we let the cars just pass the camera. Raymond Jaeger, we're just riding on board with him now. He's currently sitting in 7th. He gets down the inside of Tony Roffey. But I'll tell you, look at the number 3 of Adam Malone. Oh, as he just clips the wall, commentator's curse at his best.
Yeah, that's correct. But Adam Malone in this on size number 3. If you haven't noticed here tonight, Dan McKenzie is our old championship leader. Not old championship leader, sorry. He's the old champion. Speaking of him, commentator's curse strikes again. And Raymond Jaeger and Darren McKenzie get together. That's great timing from myself, so I apologise for that. Heading into the replay to check that one out, speaking of Darren McKenzie. But it looks like he just tapped the wall there, trying to get it back gathered, and he does rotate around, and looks like Raymond Jaeger didn't have anywhere to go. Or if he might have had his own mistake there, but it's hard to figure out. But commentator's curse at its finest. Better not talk about my teammates because, you know, I always want them to do well. But no bias here. I absolutely love all the drivers. All of them are quick and all of them have an equal chance to win here. We are under caution number 3, but Raymond Jaeger, the silent assassin, was up there. If we can find him, I will bring... No, he's not in here, so I won't bring him up. But why not we bring in Sebastian Vandel here into the broadcast booth. So, Sebastian, we're in the safety car for the 3rd time. Just quickly want to talk to you. You're in pole position, not pole position, you're in the lead at the moment, 2 positions up from when you started, so what do you think your plan's going to be going into the rest of the race?
Just send it as hard as I can without bending it.
Yeah, that's the way it goes, but I'm going to drag you back up to the bar, so good luck there, Sebi.
Alright, cheers, thank you.
As we've gone green again, lap 15 of 50. Good little chat there with Sebi. A little bit of carnage in the background. I think that was Blackburn. But the rest of the cars get around. Have a look at this little battle. Simon Ferris is doing... He's had a good little bit of initiation in this series, and he's now putting his foot down. But have a look at him. He's sitting back in 7th position. A train of cars behind him. A train of cars ahead of him. We head back up the front. Vandel, Roffey, Barber. Andy Barber, your old boy there. Look at him. As one of the Roffies just go down the inside. You don't want to do that. Andy Barber will take 2 for the price of 1, I believe. Gets up there to 3rd. Up 8 position where he started, as is Kim behind him. But good looking livery. Good looking rooster, you tell me, Ryan. But he's doing good in 3rd position.
Yeah, definitely perhaps I'm here. I love watching him race, even though we do have a bit of our arguments with the internet not working as well. But it's great that his internet's gone really well here. No ping issues at the moment. He's in 3rd position, but I'm not going to put any commentators curse on him. He is my dad, and I quite frankly don't want to hear about me cursing his race. But we do have a car around in the background. Is that Adam Malone? Yes, it is. He brings out the 4th caution of the night here at Eldora. Let's have a look of what happened in the Skypoynt replay.
Well, he gets a little bit up there, up high, he comes back down. Is he clipped this wall? This is this wall we've been looking at. No, so he misses the wall. Self-spin, I think, there. He was pushing, though, because when you got one of them Roffies in front of you, the fluoro yellow cars, you know you got to push hard to keep up with him. A little bit of a spin there, lets the guys go past. Unfortunately for him, I think I put the curse on him at the top of the broadcast, Ryan, because I was saying he's probably one of my favourites to win.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We do have 3 lapped cars in the field at the moment that I've just noticed.
And also, I'll just butt in, I'm sorry, Ryan. Shannon Blackburn back there in 7th position just came 2nd in the modified sedans in the New South Wales title. Shout out to Shannon Blackburn, mate. You do good in the on the dirt scene. You're doing pretty good here, mate. It's pretty unlucky. A bit different beast in the supercar. But Shannon coming home in 2nd in the modified sedans in New South Wales. So that's pretty good for him. Sorry to cut you off, Ryan.
Yeah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of a fact that I didn't even know. Shannon Blackburn in the modified sedans there has his own dirt experience. But you know what? He shucked himself in here for the Supercar Dirt. We go green again. Sebastian Vandel has the lead at the moment over Craig Roffey and Andy Barber. Bit of a slow start here. Of course, they are on dirt, so they do have their 600 horsepower V8 engines absolutely tearing through those Dunlop slicks in the rear. So Sebastian Vandel has a decent lead at the moment. We are looking at we're looking at Darren McKenzie. My apologies. He is in 5th position. 5 positions up from where he started in 10th position. We're on board with him. And he's following Tony Roffey very closely in 5th position, as I just mentioned. But why don't we crank the sound up here tonight and give me and Pete just a bit of a break and have a few laps with Darren McKenzie, our old champion leader. Right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've cranked up the volume here for Eldora Speedway for the Supercar Dirt. We do go caution again. We do have, it looks like Simon there. Oh, another fine. I won't call names without seeing it. Heading into the replay really quick. Very unexpected coming back. Great timing, but on board with Wade Sheedy at the moment. Not on board, on helicopter view. It looks like he just get into the door of, I'm not sure what the other car is, but he does get pretty stuck there. So he did bring out the caution because of that. Wade Sheedy getting his elbows out, maybe getting his elbows out a little bit too much, but at the moment we've seen a very eventful race. We did just have a quick little break just to get a bit of have a sip of our drinks and, you know, just get ready for the remainder of the 50 lap race. We are here 27 laps in, but behind the safety car again, Sebastian Vandel. He's been staying in the lead at the moment. I'm touching wood. No commentator's curse here, but under our 5th caution here tonight. 22 laps to go. Pete, you've been doing amazing as always behind the cameras and behind the mic. So why don't you take it away here and tell the viewers how difficult you think their race is going at the moment.
Well, the race, to me, if I was behind the wheel, difficult would be a word that comes to mind. But these guys, they handle it pretty well. We had the Skypoynt, Sprint Car Series last night, and I didn't crash. It's a little bit different though. I'm getting my handle on dirt. I might have to do a lap, I think, next week. I've just threw myself under the bus there, but we might jump on board the number 87 LR Esports entry next week for an actual lap. I don't know how good it'll be, but difficult, if I was on track, would be the first word to come to mind. Absolute awesome racing from these guys would be the word that comes to mind there. But yeah, Thomas Hunter again in the comments. Thanks for the bit of insight with Blackburn there, and he also says that Ferris has the skills to come back. So Simon Ferris currently sitting in 10th position. Ferris shifters, if you've got a shifter and you want one, go get them. But have a look at that. That was sorry, Kobe. That was foot and mouth there, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's right. We're under the 5th caution here. Shout out to Simon Ferris. Not Simon Ferris.
Yeah, Simon Ferris.
Yeah,
mate.
Simon Ferris. So I was correct. He can claw back just like anyone else here in the field. We only have a few lap cars at the moment. Shane Roffey in the pit lane, 6 laps down, and Wade Sheedy 2 laps down. He's not in the pit lane. Yes, he is now. Simon Ferris 1 lap down, but we are green again. 19 laps to go. Sebastian Vandel out in the lead at the moment over Craig Roffey and Andy Barber. Interesting race we've seen here tonight. We've seen quite a few cautions here. We've had 5 cautions here tonight, but we're just getting in. We're just starting to get into it now. This is when all the drivers are gonna knuckle down and get their cars back to the lead, but we're on board with the top 3 at the moment. Sebastian Varndell and Craig Roffey just bumping each other a bit. Andy Barber is there. Definitely Morse coding the back of Craig Roffey, just saying, hey, I'm here. Don't forget that. But looks like everyone's bunched up now. The safety car did its job and brought everyone back together. Now we have a 5-car pack, not car 5 pack, car 5 battle at the moment. Up in the lead, 16 laps to go. But Pete, this is an absolute awesome race. They're so close and they're making very minimal contact.
Well, especially up the front here, as we just we watched the front 3. You got Sebastian Varndell taking a little bit of a different line. You've got Andy Barber taking probably a mid to high line, and Darren McKenzie wants to go with him. Andy Barber is trying to go around the inside of the young fella there. You've got a middle split racing of one of the Rockies in there. Darren McKenzie, he blocked up in behind him. Oh, and look at Andy Barber, a little bit of contact again. Slides up to the wall, keeps it off it. He drops 2 positions in there, but have a look, there's 3 positions in fact. The high line seems to be working for Andy Barber right now, mid to high with the number 2 Southern Stars, but Sebastian Varndell, he's won that battle, and the battle continues, but Sebastian Varndell, McKenzie, Roffey and Barber's your top 5, and probably 2, 3, 4, 5 now really battling hard behind him.
Yeah, that's right. Sebastian Varndell still keeping his lead at the moment. We are looking at the Southern Stars of Andy Barber, number 2 here. We do have Southern Stars number 1 car, Darren McKenzie in 2nd position. Southern Stars number 2, Andy Barber, and Southern Stars, Adam Malone. So looks like they grabbed the top 3 positions and well, the top 3 car numbers. That's ours. Let's just give it to ourselves. But of course, everyone has to apply the car number. So it's everyone's choice whether they want that. But we do have our 5-car battle here. Darren McKenzie bringing his car on the inside of Sebastian Varndell, trying to get around him. Everyone's getting close together again. Andy Barber is trying to get back to them yet again. Andy Barber did try the high line before. He does hit the inside barrier. Oh.
Well, this, to be honest, Ryan, I think this battle, not the battle of the race, the battle of the season. We've had 5 cars, a little bit of it's split up a little bit now when Andy Barber just tapped them all on the inside, but Varndell and McKenzie, Robbie, they're doing really well. Have a look at McKenzie, takes a really tight line on the inside. They both follow each other out into the far wall, and they're following. They want to get this. Can the young fella hold up or not? Andy Barber's got the pace here tonight, but he's just out of luck again. But this 5-car battle is starting to get a little bit separated. We're in the 9 laps to go now. Varndell, McKenzie, Roffey, Barber, and Roffey, McKenzie down the inside. I think a little bit of an error from Varndell. Roffey wants to go with him. Andy Barber's having a look. Here we go, 3 wide, bit of contact.
Yeah, Roffey and Varndell do make contact. Andy Barber slings on the inside and takes the lead. Not the lead, I'm getting a bit excited. He takes the last podium position, chasing after Sebastian Varndell. There is quite a gap there, but Darren McKenzie and Sebastian Varndell out in front at the moment. There is a 2.5 and expanding gap from Andy Barber to Darren McKenzie, who's now stolen the lead from him. Big sad there for the Southern Stars, but Craig Roffey, Tony Roffey, and we can't see Kim Roffey there, but Craig Roffey and Tony Roffey are right behind Andy Barber. So it is fluoro coloured middle split racing, 2 Roffey cars behind the Southern Stars car. So at the moment there's a fight out in the front, and there's a fight here now for the bottom end of the podium. What are we going to see here? Who's going to take out the win? Is Darren McKenzie going to make a mistake, and is Sebastian Varndell going to steal the win, or we do not know what's going to happen? Supercar dirt, of course, 600 horsepower with slick tyres, so you never know what's going to happen. But we are 4 laps to go, so, and we will be getting into 3 laps to go very shortly. Quickest lap at the moment is, well, quickest driver at the moment is Darren McKenzie out in the front, setting the quickest, the quickest lap of the race out in front there, just in some clean air. 3 laps to go.
We're all getting excited. Darren McKenzie was the big winner out of that 5-car battle, wasn't he? He kept his nose clean as this battle now before 2nd position starts to heat up. Similar lines. Have a look at number 4 and the number 2 from Varndell and Andy Barber. Similar lines. They throw it in late. The track looks to be slickening slicking up on the bottom line there as well. Ryan, I just noticed that's getting a little bit black. So, yeah, it's going to be slippery down there. Are they going to move up or are they going to hold it? Because in the Supercar bundle hits a wall, and Andy Barber will probably take this position. Maybe it's gone checkered flag. How quick was that? Darren McKenzie.
It was so quick. I saw the white flag, and then suddenly the checkered flag comes out. Very quick lap time. 17.88 is the quickest lap time of the race, set by your winner and car number 1 here, Darren McKenzie. We head to Skypoynt replay. Here, Darren McKenzie out in front, holding the bottom line. He takes the checkered flag just behind. It looks like Shannon Blackburn, the dirt car, the real life dirt car driver.
Podium New South Wales winner, we might add.
Yeah, but we do have our top 3 all buddies in the bar at the moment. We have Darren McKenzie taking out the win here tonight in the car number 1 Southern Stars entry. Shout out to his sponsors, Mish's XL Garage and Skypoynt on his car at the moment. Just quickly shout out to the winner before we do have our interviews. Sebastian Vindel, Abrasics Sim Racing, he gets 2nd position, and Andy Barber, Southern Stars, he takes out the final podium slot. So very shortly we'll have all the drivers down here in the broadcast booth, and we'll be chatting to them very shortly. But we'll bring down Tom Pritchard. Tom, you've been our race control here throughout the season. 3 rounds in, you've done an absolute stellar job, but you were very busy just before when you were doing an amazing job.
Yeah, no, what a fantastic race that was. That was awesome. It was definitely full of action. And yeah, I was really impressed with that last few laps there, that last kind of green run. Basically that last 15 laps was all under green, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've got our winners now in the green room.
All right, perfect.
Ready to chat with them. Let's pull them up.
All right, let's pull them up. So one at a time here. Let's start with Andy Barber, Southern Stars number 2. You came 3rd position, 8 positions up from where you started. You've got to be happy with that.
I'd be happy with 1st, but 3rd's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. You did run a pretty good race, 8 positions up where you started. Like I said just before, you had a bit of an unlucky heat there, just getting in to a bit of, what would I say? Just a bit of incidents with other drivers that did cause you to go around. But 11th position you started, and you came out in 3rd. You got to be happy with that.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not too bad considering I had a good ping tonight. So when I have a good ping, I can certainly do well with a good connection. So that always helps. But yeah, no, hats off to Sebi and D-Mac. A little bit unfortunate in that first heat there, fighting for the win. But I don't blame him. I would have done the same. If it was the last lap, I would have sent it too. So I guess he's just trying to rub the number 2 off my car, and I'm trying to rub the number 1 off his.
Yeah, that's right. What were you coming into round number 3 here at Eldora? What were you expecting coming in?
Going fast, so.
Very simple words. Andy Barber, your 3rd place getter. Is there any sponsors that you'd like to thank, or anyone that you'd like to thank for your position tonight?
I'd like to thank Skypoynt Oval Leagues, obviously, for hosting. LRE Sports, obviously, with a wicked broadcast across different variations of genres of racing. So that's obviously the NASCAR trucks there, the Supercars, Dirt Oval, and the sprint cars as well. And yeah, no, all the guys do an amazing job behind the scenes, and it's just a little bit of fun for us on a Friday night. So yeah, if we can get muddy every fortnight and have a good time, then everyone's a winner in my eyes.
Yeah, just before we let you go, Andy, it's Pete in the broadcast booth, mate. You've been a little bit unlucky in this season, but you've had the pace. Talk us through when you were grouped up. There's about 5 of you within spitting distance of each other. Talk us through that little battle, because in commentary, mate, I called it not the battle of the race, the battle of the season. It looked sensational. Talk us through that.
You're talking about that 5-car battle, kind of 35, 40 laps in. Yeah, it's a little bit crazy when we're all kind of up each other's asses like that. But yeah, obviously you make a mistake there and it has a knock-on effect down the field. But naturally, we're all racing for the win. And I think at that point in time, we were trying to get to Seb. So I said to D-Mac behind me, I said, mate, do you want to have a crack at crack at one of the Roffies in the front of me because I don't know if I've got enough. And he said, no, mate, we're going to go for Seb. He was leading. But, it takes a lot of skill to learn these cars and to drive them like that. But, hats off to all those drivers in those cars and people that are turning up to give it a crack. I mean, it's not the when you think of V8 supercars, you don't think of Dirt Oval Speedway, that's for sure. So, hats off to all involved. But, I was definitely trying to get my hands dirty there in that 5-pack of cars.
Well, it looked good, mate. Third position. You will be on the top step in weeks to come. I do believe, mate. We're all rooting for you in the commentary booth, as we all are rooting for the rest of the field. But great night of racing tonight, mate. It's not easy out there, but congrats on your P3 again.
Yeah, thanks, mate. And, congrats again to Sebi and Darren. Good job.
All right, amazing. All right, we head into Sebastian Vandel, number 4, a Brass 6 Mustang here. One position up from where you started. You started in 3rd position, and now you're in 2nd position. What were you thinking coming into this one, Sebi? You know, you're a very quick driver at pretty much everything you do. So what were you expecting coming into this one?
Not much really. I hopped on with about 2 minutes left of practice.
Righto, Sebi. Righto, Sebi.
Jumped in. I just got back from school camp, but yeah, it was awesome fun.
What was it? Camp at bloody Mount Panorama or something? Were you at a driving school camp, or were you? What's the secret here?
Send it. Just send it.
Just send it. It's Pete here, mate. Before we get through to your thank yous and that, it's a little bit different than Road America, isn't it? That we've been on for the last week. But the ovals, what's the secret, mate? Apart from send it, stay out in front and keep your nose clean.
Yeah, that and it's staying off the walls, which I struggled to do a little bit tonight.
Yeah, that's always the goal here. Just trying to stay off the walls. Of course, you are in dirt, so that's very difficult for you to do. But Seb, 2nd position here tonight, coming in here with 10 minutes to the end of our practice session. But any sponsors you ought to thank?
You put me on the spot here. I don't have my sponsors up, but
Look beside you, mate. Look beside you. To the left. Shout out to your old man for putting them up.
Yeah, shout out to my dad for putting the board up, the sponsors and stuff. So just shout out to Stradacore, Hard Metals, Lake Selson Computers, Drillers All Australia, and shout out to my team sponsors from Brassic Sim Racing, Goodyear Auto Carolina, Real Sim Racing Australia, Racing Years Custom Hearing Protection. We support FU Suicide and hashtag No Social Hate.
No social hate, indeed. Sebastian Vandel, young fella, 15 years old, heading into the field of big dogs here with the adults, showing them how it's done in 2nd position. But Darren McKenzie, as always, you're there and thereabouts, but you brought your number 1 Southern Stars entry into the winning spot here tonight. So what I've asked everyone here, but what were you coming into round 3? What were you thinking, and what was your game plan?
Honestly, I was worried. Those Roffies had some serious pace in practice and quali, and Andy had the pace up there as well, and there was a few others, and I just went into it with an open mind. Really, it was almost starting in 10th, had to work my way through. I got through the field and then had a bit of a mishap and put myself to the back again. So it was just a matter of watching other people's mistakes and taking advantage of them at the end.
Yeah, that's right. You did gain the most positions, but Tom, I bet you are itching to ask a winner something.
Oh, you like you would never know, Mister Mister Junior. So it looked like a great race there, Darren. You've once again managed to trump the field. Tell me, you as you mentioned there, you had a couple of mishaps early in the piece. Looked like it was pretty choppy back in the field there when you were kind of coming through. What's it like just trying to pick your way through the field? Is it were you finding that relatively easy, or looks like a landmine kind of thing going on there where there could be bombs going off everywhere?
You had to be on your toes, but it was relatively easy as soon as they got to that mid to high line. If you were down low and had to run out of the corner, they couldn't keep up into the next corner, so you'd have to run to the inside. And I found that was the easiest way to pass it and wait for people to make mistakes. Like with that 5-car pack where I think it was Craig and Andy slid up, or
Yeah.
Craig slid up into Andy, and I was right behind him. I was ready to follow Andy up the top because he had a beautiful run. He was making pace on Seb, and I seen Roffy start to slide. I just knew he was going to hit Andy, and there was nothing I could do about it except throw my car down low and set my sights on Seb from there. And the only reason I got past him is because, like he said, he hit that outside wall, I think with 3 to go, and I just got the run into turn 1 on him, and he couldn't do nothing from there.
Did you find the track evolving much throughout the race, or did it stay fairly constant in terms of the grip and the lines kind of building up and the slickness of the track?
No, it gets faster. I was doing, like, the fastest lap of the race was on lap 46.
Yeah, right.
Once it starts rubbering up and you can keep that gas down, and you get the feel of where you've got to give it like a slight lift just so you don't overspin the tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just once you get to like 45 plus, it's just pure pace from there. On most tracks, some tracks it's not, but most it is.
That's right. You came into here scared, as you said just before, but of course you always figure out a way to stick your car in the winning position. But Pete, is there anything you'd like to ask Darren before I finish his review?
Yeah, D-Max Pete here, mate. Hey, we all know that supercars are probably the most difficult car to handle on the sim, be it, with dirt underneath you or asphalt. Talk us through a lap around Eldora, mate. How close, we did say it about 3 or 4 times. It looking like you had to get really close and down low to those walls. Talk us through a lap, mate, just how difficult it is to steer 600 horsepower around Eldora, because it looked tough.
No, it's easier than you think. It's like I've put my force feedback up, so I've got like the auto centering. It sort of counter steers itself, and you throw it into the corner. And I was just, for my fastest laps, I think I was in 4th for the whole lap. So there was no worries about changing gears. It was just about getting, like you said, getting close to that entry point. Give it a slight little lift so you don't overturn the car, and then get the power back down and try and get as straight as you can, but slide out towards the outside wall. But that's with the pace. If you're really pushing it, yeah, you're going to clip that wall like Seb did, and it's very easy to do.
Well, mate, the number 1's back on the number 1 top step. Can you do it again next week? Well, we'll have to wait and see, but congratulations to the whole podium, and congratulations to you, D-Mac, for your P1. Back to you, Ryan.
Perfect. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Tom. You guys did amazing here tonight. Darren McKenzie, Andy Barber, and Sebi Vandel. Of course, not in order because I was just thinking from the top of my head. But Tom Pritchard in race control here tonight. Peter in the broadcast booth with me here tonight. But we had a very eventful race here tonight. We did have 2 heats. We were expecting 1 heat, but we were hoping for 1, and we got 2. So how good is that? Ladies and gentlemen, 2 heats here tonight, and then we headed into our 50-lap A main race where we did see 5 cautions, but we did see the amazing laps, and we did see the race for the championship here with the 5 cars battling together. But Skypoynt Oval Series, the league that we are running here tonight for the Dirt Oval Supercars here on your Friday night fortnightly. They hold amazing things. They hold the Thursday night fortnightly sprint cars. They have the fortnightly supercar dirt that we have here tonight. And then, how good is this? They have their Skypoynt Truck Series. $1,000 up for grabs of the Triple Crown. We're heading into Talladega next round. But that's what this league does have to offer. So if you do want to jump in here tonight, or next round, or in the other series that they do have, do visit skypointracing.com, same as the YouTube channel name, or if you search it up on YouTube, you will see it there. But awesome broadcast by Pete, showing some awesome cameras. As always, our podium is Darren McKenzie, Sebastian Vidal, and Andy Barber. But it's been an amazing broadcast, Pete, and I've had an absolute blast. But let's wrap this up here tonight we've had an amazing race, like I said before, but we will be heading into next round in a fortnight's time. So make sure you check that out not next Friday night, the Friday night after we are fortnightly. But thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I had an absolute blast from me, Pete, and Tom in race control. Thanks very much for watching. See you next round, and have an amazing night.